Hi, I'm Azzy, welcome to my channel. Using the Scan and Cut, I'm going to show you how to use the Direct Cut function. I'm going to use the stamps that you can see here, those two from All and Create. I'm sure this is a Dawn Bibby stamp from some time back, and also this one, which I actually don't know whose stamp it is, but I'm going to cut this afterwards. So first we're going to start with these here, which I've already stamped out, but this teddy bear here, purposefully, I haven't stamped the arm and this part of the leg properly. Okay, so from the start screen, if we go into Scan, it brings up these three. So there's Direct Cut, Scan to Cut Data and Scan to USB. The Scan to USB, once you've put your USB in the side of the machine and you've got your image on the mat, as you scan it through, as the mat goes through the machine, it will scan it and automatically put it directly onto the USB. For the Scan to Cut Data, that's got a few different functions on, but we're going to look at the Direct Cut, which is this one here. So if I go into here, it will ask you where you want to save it. And although it does bring up those two, it actually doesn't save it anywhere, so it doesn't really matter which one you press. So I'm just going to tap on the machine, and this isn't highlighted because I haven't got my mat in the machine at the moment, but once you put it in, this will be highlighted. So I've got the mat fed into the machine with the images on that I showed you earlier. I'm just going to press start here. And all it's going to do is take the mat in and scan the images. Okay, so here you can see the images that have been scanned. So it's just asking you to frame the image. So with the anchor points here, we just go up to the image as much as we can and just take all the messy bits of the mat out. It's not too far over. Let's bring that a little bit over to there. There we go. So that's all of the images as they are. Say OK here. Here it's recognised the images, and this line here, this function here, ignore object size. If you go into there, if there are any lines on there that you don't want the machine to recognise that are bigger than 0.12 inches, you can either, I don't know if you can take it down, you can take it up and it will just start to take out more and more of the image that you don't want to cut, so any of the lines there. But if you go down, it will cut more and more of the areas. So if we just keep it to where it was at 0.12, say OK, say OK there, and here we just want an outline of it. We don't want to go to an offset, or we don't want it to cut on the actual line. Say OK there, and here we can see all the images, all the outline of them that it will cut. This teddy bear is going to be a mess. I'll show you that at the end because it hasn't been stamped correctly. So go into select cut, and I'm going to cut the images. Oops. So here are the images that we've just cut from this panel that I showed you initially. Now these have cut out quite nicely, the All and Create ones. The teddy bear stamps, now this one has cut totally properly, but this has sort of got a bit cut here, the face has cut out, the nose is still here, so it just throws a bit of a wobbler every now and again. So you'll get some images that cut out nicely and then some that just don't. This one here, because I had on purpose not stamped it correctly, you can see it's just chewed it all up. So one thing definitely to remember when you want a complete outline cut out, to make sure that there are no breaks in the whole of the outline, and if there are, and that's how you actually want that image to be. Just draw it in with pencil. When it's cut out, you can just erase it off so that you can actually get a full outline, because if there is a little bit left like there is here, it'll just start cutting all of these inside bits and it'll just make a complete mess of your image. But even then, these two were stamped totally fine, yet look how it cut this and look how it's cut this one. So sometimes it's a bit of hit and miss, but in the main it's still better than cutting with a pair of scissors. Here I've got the mat ready with the stamped sentiments in. So I press the start button here and it'll just scan them through and bring the images up onto the screen. Right, it's recognised the images, so press OK. Now I need to just close off all of these, the messy part of the mat with the handles. Just bring all of that in. Okay, so it's only looking at the stamped images now, so there's no lines that we want to take off there. Go into preview and say OK. So here it gives us the option of doing an offset or cutting directly in the centre of the line, but I actually want it to just cut around the actual image. So I'm just going to say OK here. So it's got an issue with this first one for some reason by the looks of it, but we'll have a look when it's cut. So here, just going to press it, select it to cut, and again cut them and see what they look like. So now that it's cut, if I just go back to the main screen and go back into retrieve data, initially we saved it into the machine, but if you go down to the end page, as you can see it's not saved there. So if you do anything on direct cut, it doesn't actually save anywhere. Okay, so these have been scanned and cut out now. So when we first scanned them in, as you could see, there was one that had lines and things on, and as you can see here, it's had a bit of a wobbler and cut the inside out and just various bits of those dots out. So all of them have cut out properly apart from this one, and sometimes that will happen with the scan and cut. It just does that. I mean, on my machine it does that, and I've spoken to a couple of people who have actually got the same machine and different machines, and you won't always get an exact cut on every single time that you do it, and maybe there was just too many on here. Sometimes if you have less, it's probably better because it can recognise them easier, and especially if they're busy patterns. But that's not bad for how many they are. All of these cut quite well, to be fair, and it was just this one that got messed up. So here are the stamped images cut out that were shown in the video, and using these 3 stamp sets from All and Create, I've cut some further images, which were these, and even these smaller ones like the snowman, the little rabbits, the post box and the telephone box. So they do cut out really well. I think the main thing to keep in mind is that you have a continuous line around your image. If there's a break in it anywhere, it will just chew it up and make a mess of it. For anybody new to scan and cut, or as a refresher, hope this video has been of some good information with regards to using the direct cut function. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.